And here comes Nicholas. Hey, Nicholas, welcome.
Hi everyone. Sorry for being late.
Well, right on time. So
Thanks.
we were at this point, the just a quick update. I believe the pull request is complete at this point. The only formality that needs to take place is later today, actually in about an hour and a half, I think, with TC54. So that will, I think that's the only approval thing on the agenda today is the work that we've done for CBOM. So all the changes that we talked about last week have been made. So pulling out the protected by support and that sort of thing. That's all been changed. Basil, thank you for flagging the certification levels as an array. Completely forgot about that. And I found a few other just inconsistencies that that didn't carry over to the XSD or the protobuf. So all of that has been corrected as well. So we're in a really good spot. Um, and we'll probably end up, well, we'll probably end up spinning down this feature working group at some point. We still need to work on the guide, and I'm hoping to get a jump start on the guide today. And I don't know, but I'll leave it to Basil and Nicholas to kind of guide us in terms of, well, should we spin this working group down now that it's at least the initial ask is coming to a close? Is there other things that we don't support yet that maybe we should target for 1.7? So I'll kind of open it up for that.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I mean, it looks really good now with the PR and the version there. So I think from that point, I think it's, yeah, really good, right? And I think it would be a good moment, right, to yeah, spin it down then. And yeah, I mean, the guide thing, yeah, I will, yeah, help with that, certainly. Yeah, I'm just trying to find some time for it in the next. That's the challenge. But yeah, definitely work on that. And yeah, then I don't know if for the next release for 1.7 there will be probably maybe more use cases where we can
So
discuss.
one of the
Have
use cases that we obviously want to protect, or one that we also want to support, is some of the lower level details of protected by. What does that mean? More of those action level verbs, right? Whether it be performing input validation or persistence or encryption, right? Really describing what the application does. So if you have some, we're going to be spinning up a feature working group for 1.7 here very shortly to start discussing that, because it's going to be a kind of like CBOM. It's going to be kind of a lengthy and big feature. And I don't think it's ever been done before. So it's going to be a lot of work, but we're going to be spinning up a feature working group here pretty soon. And if any of you would like to participate in that, obviously it's going to be open for everyone, just like all feature working groups are. Or I can just reach out and ping you if once we start getting to the actions of that involve cryptography, for example. Either way. But yeah, I'm really proud of the work that we've all collectively done here. I think the spec looks really, really good. So so I wanted to thank you both for your participation and all the contributions that you've made. I mean, this would not be possible without your support, without IBM support. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. The
Likewise.
yeah.
It was really great experience, right, to go through that process here. So yeah.
Good. Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm really excited to have this become part of an ECMA standard. This is going to be next level. This is going to be great. And we're going to be working on, what does that outward messaging look like? So as we're all aware, that's also part of the executive order that really hasn't been discussed all that much, and there's a bunch of deadlines and whatnot from the OMB memos. So we need to come up with some nice, crisp messaging for our friends in the U.S. federal and other governments around the world that are kind of taking similar approaches. So no, that would be a shout out to you, Vinod, and to Kayla. So let's at this point, again, the spec is done. Let's, I guess, turn our focus toward the guides, if we could. And I do not believe any work has really been done yet on the guides, although I know we have some of the documentation probably already with the CBOM stuff and the IBM stuff, and I know we have some examples that we can update without too much difficulty. But where do we want to start from a guide perspective? Do we want to start with use cases? Do we want to start with something else?
Maybe one could start with the same introduction we had for this article. Why this why there is this missing piece in the SBOM, and how one could use it. Then, like, first studying that there is a missing piece, why it is important, and then leveraging the use cases or explaining the use cases.
All right. Yeah, I think we can reuse a lot of that OWASP article, that's for sure. I'm just going to take notes here.
I think we can elaborate on these use cases that we had there in the article, right? Expand on that, and add examples for it, right? How it would look with the actual spec then.
Got it. So we'll have the intro, which has the reused part of that. We'll have some use cases. Do we have well, the use cases are basically outlined in that OWASP article, right? The high level ones anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. And then it's just a matter of let's see. So after we discuss use cases, I mean, use cases could also we could have a section for practical examples.
Mm-hmm. So usually doing the guides also kind of going through all the properties that, or let's say all the schema properties, and this, I mean, yeah, be more or less copy and pasting, or maybe expanding on the descriptions of the properties and how they are.
We did that similar in the SBOM guide as well. Okay, we will do that, and maybe have a section for each. I mean, we could have a section for certificate properties, protocol properties, that sort of thing, related properties.
Yeah, that's the in our current documentation that we had for this initial version, that was the biggest part of it. So the schema was basically, like you said, like one first thing about crypto asset in general, right? Where we have different types of crypto assets, like the algorithm certificates related to crypto material, and then having a subsection on each of those categories of crypto assets, and then describing the properties.
Got it. Got it. Is there any, let's see, do we have examples in the IBM CBOM repository for each one of the major use cases that are outlined in that OWASP article?
We have, so there's a separate file with examples. They are not kind of the article use cases was done afterwards, so it's not, doesn't include examples for all of them. And they are the examples that we have it's rather, let's say, snippets, right? It's not full
Right.
JSON files that you can validate.
Yeah.
But just with the parts that are relevant.
That's perfect, actually, because that's a lot of what's in the guide is also the snippets.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay. So you said there was an examples directory in that repo?
Yeah, there's an examples markdown file as well.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. But I think, yeah, we will have to expand a bit on new examples about the use cases that we have in the article.
Right. Okay. Oh, you actually have a graphic here too. That's interesting.
I had this graphic about the dependency types.
Yeah, you got like application library, protocol library, algorithm. Okay. That's nice, actually. And you've got another one for dependencies, right? Okay. That's nice. And okay. This, yep, Apache 2.0 for the thing. So, okay. So what we'll then do is I'm gonna you know what? There's one other thing that we should probably do. It won't impact the specification. It will not impact the documentation. But one thing that we do need to do is adhere to the Apache 2 license. So we need to do attribution within the spec. So let me write that down before I forget. And we'll do the same thing in the guide too. Okay. All right. So yeah, there's a lot of the content in here and the examples that we can probably mostly just copy and paste. And then we can expand upon the descriptions for use in the guide. And toward the beginning of the guide, we've got like a copyright statement and stuff like that. So that's where IBM will be attributed in the guide. And then in the specification, at least in JSON anyway, it'll be a comment, and then it'll be a documentation thing or a comment also in the XSD. So just so IBM's aware, that's how we'll do that.
Spec CycloneDX itself is also Apache too, right?
It is, yeah. It's kind of a weird one where, you forked from us, we're gonna bring your contributions back. So we're basically attributing each other.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. And you've got examples for, let's see, algorithm protocols. Yeah, this is good. Yeah, okay. And then is there any other I know there's been I've seen a few of the I've seen a few of the videos by some of the IBM I don't know where in the organization they are, but there've been like public presentations on quantum related stuff, including CBOM. And it's all very high level for the most part that I've seen. Is there any documentation that would be useful that IBM has to, like, at that level to incorporate into the guide? I'm thinking of, we've got a lot of the examples in terms of the tactical aspects, but like, what does this mean to what does this mean to like a GRC person, right? If I am trying to work on compliance for, whatever NIST says in terms of, algorithms and dates and that sort of thing, what does that mean to me?
Yeah, some kind of white papers on the topic, right?
Yeah,
Documentation. Yeah, I can have a look if there is something available that could be used for that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think we're good on the technical documentation. There's no shortage of that.
Just before I forget, or maybe I didn't mention it before, but just because you mentioned now if there's some documentation. There is this NIST PQC draft or thingy where CBOM is explicitly mentioned as a way to express crypto. I don't know if that's what you have in mind, but could be a reference.
Where does NIST reference it?
Yeah, there is a NIST SP. I don't know the number.
Oh, really? They actually have a special publication for this that mentions it?
That was an output of this NCCOE quantum safe initiative, and and CycloneDX is mentioned there. Our effort is mentioned there, and they have some snippets of CBOM in there.
Interesting.
I think it's public. We'll paste the link on the chat if I find it.
Okay. Let's see. Okay. I think that would be a really good kind of outline for the guide then. I think we got a lot here. Intro, use cases, practical examples, and then going through all of the major sections. And yeah. Okay. And then if we can get some higher level language in here, especially from these different perspectives like compliance. That would be really good. And then if we can reference this NIST thing, let's see. Oh yeah, let's see. Basil sent the link. Okay. I will read that after the call. Let's see. Okay. Fantastic. Okay. Is there anything else that maybe should be in the guide that maybe we haven't discussed?
Yeah, I mean, will or usually in the guides, are there, let's say, full examples of JSON?
Not
guide?
usually, because the guides, the primary medium for them is PDF, although it is available on in HTML on the website. Its primary distribution is a PDF, so including a full JSON blob is not something we usually do.
Right.
So, having those context specific snippets like what you already have is exactly kind of the same approach that we take.
Yeah, it's good, and that's sufficient for the guide, right?
Yeah. Would there be, I guess we could go through maybe linking again, or at least discuss it. I wonder if, I wonder in terms of like distribution, right? So say I've got an SBOM, and the SBOM maybe has an external, maybe I want to have different access control on who has access to my SBOM versus my CBOM. So I could, if I have a component in my SBOM, I can create an external reference of type BOM and point it to the CBOM. And it would be a separate CBOM file at that point. But we could go through a use case to, that could combine both of those, all that data into one. We could go through another use case where organizations might want to separate that out because of sensitivity or whatever. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think that's a very good use case. And then, I mean, in our discussions about it, I think it's a recurring theme, right? This visibility of what information should be accessible, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, if you publish a CBOM, it might be different than your full inventory that you have for internal use, for example, right?
I think another point. Sorry. Yeah. I think another point we could touch is maybe the or we could make use of the other parts of the SBOM standard, which are not particular related to CBOM, like evidence and what we were talking about.
I was thinking the exact same thing. So, being able to tie the CBOM to like the attestation support that we're also introducing, where there would be a use case where maybe we're getting a third-party assessment and they are then attesting to the fact that, yes, this information is correct regarding cryptography. Perfect. I love that use case. Is there any other than the NIST? Well, actually, it's I think it's NSA, isn't it? But is there any like standards in the sense that you have to like use these algorithms and these properties, or these properties for these algorithms for these particular cases or for this particular industry or something along those lines?
Yeah, there are some industry specific standards, right, that describe that, like or FIPS, right, that we have in the document or in the specification as well. FIPS 140-2 or -3 tells what algorithms
Mhm.
have
That
to
would be a
be.
really good use case. Yeah, okay. So we could have like a use case where the certification level is FIPS 140-3 or something, and then we could have that linked to the attestation that actually provides the evidence of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, I like that use case. Okay. Okay. I think that, I mean, I can't think of anything else that would be, I can't think of anything else that we would be missing in a guide. I think that covers a lot, actually. So what I will do after this call is start creating the outline in Markdown for what we just discussed. Start copying and reusing parts of that OWASP article for the introduction. Start creating the pages for the use cases and examples, and you know, the linking and the tying it to attestations type use cases as well. So I'll create the outlines for all of this stuff, and I usually put a big capital to do in the markdowns for all the sections that kind of need attention. So I'll do that as well, and that way maybe next time we meet, we can have some concrete things to potentially review. But I'll also kind of let you know once this is checked into the guides repository, because I would love to get your reviews on it. Or and if you want to make changes, you know, that sort of thing, just submit a PR just like you normally do with code type of thing. So does everybody know where that guides repository is?
Not really.
Yeah, you sent me a link at some time. Your video is a green screen somehow, Steve.
Ah, that's cool. Yeah, I was having trouble with my camera the other day, and well, it looks like it's still having issues. I truly am that green. I promise I am not a Martian. I just put the link to the guides repository in the chat. Within there, there should be a directory for CBOM. Yes, there is, and it's pretty much empty at this point, right? I think the only thing in there is images.
Yep.
Now, here's a really basic question. So currently the cover basically has a subtext about the guide, which currently reads, and I was just making stuff up at the time. This was probably a year ago or something, 9 months ago. Implement cryptography bill of materials for post-quantum applications and systems. Is that the message that we want to say? Do we want to say something else? Give it some thought. We don't have to, come to a decision right this moment. But in addition to all the markdown that we're going to be working on collectively, take a look at the guide and see if that's something we want to go forward with in terms of the front page, or do we want to have a slightly different message? And we can, make those corrections as needed. And with that, I think that was pretty much everything I wanted to cover today. Does anyone have anything else related to cryptography and Cyclone that they wanted to bring up today?
I have a sorry. Good. Yeah, so I have a question regarding this document shared by Basil and Nicholas. Like, there are uh, there are many participants in that document, if I understood correctly. Like, so do we need to do some outreach activities? Those people, I can also see some from IBM. There is Annie Dames. Do you guys already know her, or?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, internally definitely reach out to the participants of the document from IBM and let them know about the release and the guide and everything.
Mhm. I think that would be great. Yeah, it's I don't know, still we need to do any other outreach activities in general for CBOM, like.
Well, I mean, I think IBM is kind of plugged into some of the work that MITRE and some others are doing. So I plan to do a briefing for CISA once 1.6 is released. We're trying to do a briefing just for the attestation work itself, because obviously the White House has a vested interest in supporting some of the larger defense contractors and other suppliers to the government. But yeah, I plan to do a briefing to CISA when 1.6 is released, and then part of that briefing obviously will be on CBOM. It would not surprise me if that briefing then led to other types of briefings to different parts of the government, U.S. government for that as well. Now, obviously the U.S. government is just one of hundreds around the world. So I know there's similar efforts happening in Europe for different things, and I would imagine Asia probably has, and different countries in Asia probably have other things going on. I see Korea, for example, mentioned here.
Yeah, even Canada.
South Korea.
Yeah, Canada is also in that document, like 2-3
Yeah.
in Canada, or South Korea from Samsung.
Yep. So, I don't know what kind of regulation and whatnot they have in like South Korea, for example. I do know that I was trying to find some SBOM, some SBOM related regulation, and of course, I actually ended up finding one. I don't know, about a month ago or so. But of course, it was written in Korean, like, how dare them, right? So it wasn't really all that valuable to me. But yeah, we'll probably run into that as well. We'll have to get some other kind of contributors to translate some of these regulations for us at some point in time. And I know OWASP is going to be working on some translation services for CycloneDX as well. So because our voice is really not heard all that well in countries where English as a second language is just mostly non-existent. So, and there's some pretty fairly large countries that's kind of the norm. So, anyway, other than that, Vinod, I'm not sure what other kind of outreach we should do. I mean, the normal social things I think would be good. Is there any kind of conferences that maybe we should target for CBOM? And if so, like who would be the best, candidates to present at those conferences?
I think we could potentially track some sheet or something with the potential conferences, location, and people interested from the group, like who can go and present. Yeah, I think that's it. Also, I think we may need to do some outreach with the vendor support, like any potential vendors in this domain, like if they start adopt it, that would be great. So yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw there is a conference by ETSI, so the European Standardization Institute in May, and there I submitted an abstract about our activities. I will hear back from them, I think, soon. We can have a presentation there.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's a bit not. I mean, the conference I think is more, let's say, usually more on, let's say, low-level crypto topics. So we'll see if it's any fit, but I think it will be a good venue there.
Well, let us know if that's accepted or whatnot. I mean, we can socialize it on our end for sure. And if there's any other conferences that you're speaking at related to, the CBOM work that you've done, let us know. We can socialize whatever it is that you're going to be presenting at.
Yeah, I mean, even it don't need to be conference, right? We can outreach to some other communities as well. So speaking of the communities, Nicholas, with your CBOM implementation and dependency track, like maybe I know you can't attend this meeting, but maybe in the next meeting you can do a demo of CBOM use case that might give some idea with the dependency track community or the users, like how they can make use of it. And also that would be great as well. Like I believe Melba is going to talk about the other use cases in the second community meeting, like IBM's CISO use case. So yeah, if we can do something similar, maybe in the upcoming one, that would be great as well.
Yeah, good point. All right. Anybody else have anything that they wanted to bring up today? Oh, let's see. Vinod posted something.
Oh, that is Melba's post.
Oh, right, regarding Melba and the
in
the
case
GT community meeting. Yeah. Okay. Matt, you've been pretty quiet.
Sorry, multitasking.
I figured.
I mean, I'm thrilled. I'm actually looking at my form for TC54 to figure out if I'm filling it in correctly.
Got it. Yeah, I'm still waiting for the ServiceNow lawyers to get back to me on that.
I'm also was finishing an update to my SBOM utility, adding a new patch command. So
Nice.
about ready to merge it and create a release for tomorrow.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't have anything else, so I think we've kind of exhausted topics for today. Like I said, I'll go ahead and make those changes and get the outline of the guide started. I'll let you all know in the Slack channel. when that work is complete, it'll be later today. So, sometime tomorrow when you wake up, it'll be out there. And I'll probably also start renaming the Slack channel and removing the work stream part of it, because our work now is going to be spinning down and we're just kind of focusing on the guides. So yeah, I'll let you know with that. Maybe we should meet maybe one more time, and then we can maybe, depending on the outcome of that next meeting, we might be able to then completely spin down the working group and then give you back an hour of your week every single week. Yay.
So I will not do CBOM stuff in that time, you suggest, or?
What's that?
I just wanted to make a joke that I still will do CBOM stuff in that time, even if it's not the working group. But yeah.
I would expect no less, Nicholas.
Yeah.
We can meet here on CBOM.
Exactly. All right, very good. I'll talk to you all later, and thanks again for all your contributions. Truly appreciate it. Truly excited about where the spec is today. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to everyone real soon.
You do. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Bye.